can't come to class once or twice or 3 times and think that your life is going to transform magically.
Welcome to The Healing Blueprint. I'm your host, Jill Briansky. On this podcast, I speak with experts from traditional and holistic healing modalities. And together, we share insights, tools, and practical guidance so you can create your own healing blueprint. Let's move into today's episode and get started. Today, I'm joined by Brian Kraby, a Tai Chi Gung teacher who helps people reconnect with themselves through movement, breath, and presence. Brian, thank you for being with me today.
Thank you, Jill. I'm really excited to be here to have a discussion with you.
Yeah, can you tell us what Tai Chi Gung is?
So Tai Chi Gung is a 3,000-year-old practice going back to Tibet, in which we breathe, we move, we focus our awareness in a moving meditation. They're very gentle movements. And as we progress through those movements and the class keeps going, towards the end, you can really feel the chi or the life force, which permeates all physical manifestation. And in particular, when you're doing it in nature, where I teach my classes, it's really powerful because we ground our feet into the earth. We breathe and we move for about 45 minutes. And then we really decompress and we get rid of all of the negative thoughts and emotions and bad energies out of our bodies. And we feel calm at the end. We feel clear at the end. And we feel happy at the end.
So I'm hearing we, and
Yes.
I know that you have students, but is the practice primarily a community practice, or is that just how you've developed it?
That's a very good question. So how I learned this incredible art was through the circleofchi.com. And the leader of circleofchi.com is Master Lama Asaji, who was taught this in Tibet in the 1970s and has come back to the United States starting in early 80s, 83 or so, teaching how I am now, right? So I learned online and then I practiced daily with consistency and discipline for 5 years. And then it finally it was bursting out of the seams. I really wanted to share it with people because of how I was feeling and how it changed my life. When you share it, the energy expands. So if you're doing it alone, you still feel the chi. You still feel amazing, but it's almost exponential. A comment. It's like you have your own energy field, but then when I say we, to answer your question, it creates a larger energy field of all of us as one entity.
That sounds really powerful. And when you were practicing by yourself, you noticed the life force of the chi flowing through your body. What effects has that had on you, and why did you maintain a daily practice of that?
Another great question. So I'm a history teacher, philosophy teacher. I teach in law. I teach all the electives at Millis High School in Millis, Massachusetts. And I've been doing it a long time. And this will be my 26th year. And any teacher will tell you that's teaching in the public school system or the private school system, it can really weigh you down with the disruptions that happen and the disrespect that happens at times. And, you can take things personally, not just as a teacher and anything in life. You take things personally. Well, now, if someone disrespects me or I feel upset about something, I find that my recovery time is very quick. I can let it go quickly and come back to the breath and then realize that I can't control other people's reaction and energy, but I can control my own energy. And so with that, being able to move on from moment to moment, it allows for the regeneration of the chi to continually renew my energy. And I feel like calm, honestly, throughout the entire day now. Like even when chaos erupts, right? It's like being the eye of the storm where you are okay in here, right? And when you're okay, you emit that emanation to others around you and it begins to grow, and then people will hear about me. I see it all the time. Hey, I heard your class was great. I would really like to come, and I just get so much joy in seeing people's reaction at the end and how calm they feel and how clear they feel and how they then tell me they go through the day and how it's helping them like it helped me. It just, that's really why I do it, because I just feel so good. I want to share it with others.
It's such a blessing to be able to have something like that in your life and to be able to share that with other people. So I'm wondering if we can dive a little bit deeper into the chi and what actually happens in your body while you're doing this. And then it sounds like the after effects carry on. But what is that initial system that happens?
Some people feel it the first time. I would say most. Some people don't. And so when we get through all 4 standing exercises, we have an exercise where we breathe and pulse the hands, and we exhale and bring it in. And you can, like just now, that one breath and exhale I did, I could feel the energy come up through my neck and through my head. All right. But that's from practice consistently. And that's a very important point. Is you can't come to class once or twice or 3 times and think that your life is going to transform magically. It's just like anything else. But to get back to your question. So when we breathe scientifically, when we breathe oxygen, it oxygenates the blood, right? When we drink water, it oxygenates the blood. So after a while, as you begin to realize that, and we realize that the breath is really the bridge to the chi, we actually begin to be able to breathe in the energy of the environment around us. And literally at the cellular level, when a healthy human is doing this, it regenerates the cells. We breathe, we exhale. And that energy, you have to be, it's working even if you're not conscious of it, right? So like maybe 2 or 3 years into it, I'm feeling great. I can only imagine like Master Lama Massage, who's been doing it for my lifetime, over 50 years, right? I've been doing it for almost 6 now. The more you practice, the more you consciously connect to the chi, the more that current of energy comes in your physical body, right? And regenerates you and helps to heal you physically. But simultaneously, it's also clearing out your central nervous system on a more non-physical vibration so that you get rid of all the negative energy that you're holding in from the past, from the traumas that we hold on to, from the hurt we never dealt with. It all begins to be able to release. So it's an inhale and it's a release. And the chi responds to that rhythm.
So you said a couple of things I just want to touch on. And one of them is that you do this, the environment matters. So what if someone can't get out of their house? What if they're not in a great environment? What if their environment is chaotic? Does that mean that they can't do this? And then the second question, which may be connected to the first, is we breathe every day. What makes this breath different?
All of us get caught up in depression and anxiety, right? And that can create that aura, right? And it's really difficult to break that. If you started to do it, a lot of people do it online, like I learned during COVID. Mm-hmm. I was home and I was anxious about everything that was going on. And I started to work on myself through Tai Chi Gung, and I elevated my vibration that way in a state of low vibration. So it is absolutely possible to do that. When I say the environment matters, what I meant was when you're outdoors, like I like to do sunrise and sunset classes, and you get out in the sun. It's so good for you. The animals respond to your vibration, and then the chi from the earth becomes part of you, and now you're grounded, right? And the second part of your question, remind me, was
the breath.
First, the breath. So in the breath, right? So like this morning, I went and visited my mom. My mom is 76, and unfortunately she fell yesterday, and she tripped on the cement outside her apartment and broke her nose last night. And I went to see her in the hospital last night. And then this morning I went to check on her and spend time with her. And she said to me, Brian, can you do chair Tai Chi with me? Because I do teach a class of elderly people. And we went through the whole thing, and her nose is broken. And she was breathing, and we really worked on concentrating on breathing into the navel and exhaling out the mouth. And then just gentle movements, really, really gentle movements. You feel the elevated energy go through your body. You relax. You're calm, right? So if we just focus on breathing in and breathing out, which most people breathe into their lungs, not into their belly, really having that relationship with the breath, then that's the bridge to the chi. The breath is the bridge to the chi.
So the important part that I'm getting from that is that the breath goes all the way down to the navel. You take a really intentional inhale that goes all the way through your system. And that's what makes it different than our normal everyday breathing. And the other part that I'm hearing is that we also create our own environment. So the more we move the energy in our environment, the more the energy in our environment changes. And what you're stating is that, yes, we can do it anywhere, no matter what our physical level is. But if we do it somewhere in nature, we sort of get a boost of energy.
That's very well stated, Jill. Yes, exactly.
Okay. So your mom felt better. I'm just going to tack onto that for a second.
Yeah.
Your mom felt better after that session, even though could she not move, or?
She was able to walk this morning, although she did scrape her knee, and when she fell, she had her dog in one hand, and so she only had one hand to stop, and her face hit the ground. So she has a black eye, she has cuts, and she broke her nose.
Okay.
But she felt better even with that new injury.
So do you find that people that come to your class that might have a difficult time with movement because of physical limitations are able to do these exercises?
So anybody can do them regardless of fitness level. The only thing would be when I teach my elderly class on Wednesdays in Needham, there are a few people who can't stand. So we have the chair. It's called Emperor's Choice. And so with the elderly group, I have everybody sit and we do that. And for the past 5 weeks, I've worked with them to the point to be able to get them to slowly stand behind the chair, to be able to do some of those movements gradually, and then work towards getting them to stand up. So even if you were sitting in a wheelchair, you could still do Tai Chi Gung.
Am I hearing this right? That Tai Chi Gung has the power of bringing your physical body back into some sort of an alignment?
100%. It's regenerative.
Can you say more about that?
Yeah. So, for example, there's a woman who lives behind me named Layla, and she had sciatica, and she came to class yesterday and informed that her sciatica is no longer there as a result of the classes and the movements and the breath that we've been doing. Myself, I used to have lower back pain when I started these activities. I don't have any lower back pain anymore. My breath is so much better. My health is so much better. My mind is so much clearer. My spirit is so much more receptive, because some of the movements we do literally, like one of them I want to show you real quick. We open up the chest and the heart to the sky. And on the exhale, you come down. Now think about that for a moment. You are physically opening up the lungs and the heart to the heavens, but you're also spiritually opening up your heart to the heavens. And you are bringing into you abundance. You are attracting abundance. You are changing your thought process from a negative thought process to a positive process, which then informs you to be able to think clearer. At least for me and everybody that I've been around have been told me, it allows you to create the reality you wish to create by getting rid of the negative vibrations and focusing the power of your thought on what you want to accomplish. And then the power of the will takes over and you do it. You apply in your life what you want by being clear, by being open, and by being calm and relaxed.
So you said that this has a spiritual component. Did Tai Chi Gung evolve out of Tai Chi? Did it evolve out of Qi Gong? Is it its own separate entity? Like, what actually is the origin of Tai Chi Gung?
It's a great question. Lao Tzu was a Chinese philosopher that people who study philosophy will have heard of. But that wasn't his actual real name. His real name was Boganathar, and he was from India, or Tibet. And he had mastered at the time, this is 3,300 years ago now, Hatha Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, right? And what he noticed were the great siddhas around him were emaciated because they were not interested in staying in the body. And he was like, this isn't right. He thought, if God exists, or whatever you want to call God, the great spirit, whatever you call it, God exists in all dimensions, not just the higher dimensions, but the lower dimensions. And so he went into the forest for a very long time. I've heard 40 to 50 years straight, alone. And he watched the waterfalls, and he studied that. He went to the forest and he studied the trees. He went into the mountains, right? And he noticed that in every place he was in, the quality of the chi was a little bit different. And he realized that there were certain gentle movements, particularly in Tai Chi Gung, the figure 8 or the infinity sign, is how energy moves physically in the physical world and in the non-physical world. And then when he came out from his adventure, people had heard about him. And I found out that the Emperor of China had heard about him and was a young emperor at the time, Emperor Chen. And he had some type of ailment, which he was told he didn't have much longer to live. And Boganathar was summoned to China, hence Lao Tzu. And when he went there, he brought his energy with him. He started doing the movements that I am now doing. And the emperor, who was supposed to die within the next 3 to 5 years, lived another 25, being around his energy. Now, I don't know exactly what he did to him, if he did like a Reiki type of thing, but I know that his presence from practicing Tai Chi Gung is bringing the higher vibrations and frequencies of the universe into the human body in the physical world to be able to regenerate the cells, to be able to bring about longevity, and to be able to bring that longevity to the point where he could help as many people as he could.
What I'm hearing from that is that he studied the natural world, and he sat by the waterfall and he learned to breathe or imitate the flow of the waterfall, the chi, the vibration of the waterfall. And then he went into the forest and he did the same thing. And so it sounds to me like he created these
gentle movements.
Thank you. Gentle movements to imitate what nature already does.
Exactly.
And because it's nature that we're following, and we are, for better or worse, natural human beings, right? We started out in nature. It's like connecting us to our origin.
Yes.
Okay. So can you say more about this figure 8 and the infinity symbol and how that actually helps the system?
We do a few things, and then we get to prayer position, and it's a very simple thing. We turn to one side, we draw a sideways figure 8, we come across the diagonal of the navel, we come to the other side of the body and draw the figure 8 to that side. We breathe into the navel and exhale out the mouth, right? This is connecting the human body to the energy of Mother Earth. The chi of the figure 8, which actually emanates from the light center or the heart center here, literally where your physical heart is, around your body in a 360-degree way, it literally moves in a figure 8. It's exactly what you perfectly described a moment ago. It's like if you were in a kayak, right? When you go with the current, it's easy. I mean, you don't feel really much difficulty because there's energy pushing you forward, right? Once you turn around, you go, oh my God, I just went 3 hours with the current. And you turn around and now you're going against the current. Things aren't so easy, are they? So when we move in the way that nature moves, and when we consciously connect to the chi, amazing things happen. my energy is constantly evolving because I'm working on it constantly. And I just visited in Denver, Colorado, which what a beautiful place that is, with other people like me that are teaching the Tai Chi Gung system and two of my teachers for the first time in the physical world. And when I returned back to Boston, I felt like my chi when I came home was just 10 feet outside because everybody was talking, everybody was moving, everybody was sharing. But now these synchronicities are taking place. I'm thinking of people. I'll give you a quick little story. I walked my dogs last Thursday, and I walked by a friend of mine's house and stopped with the dogs and thought, I wonder how Beth is. And I wonder if her mom still lives in this house because it's been years since we talked. I went home. It was raining like today. The kids said, can we go to the Natick Mall? I said, sure, let's go to the Natick Mall. That'll be a good activity. I walk into the mall, and there is Beth and her mom. And I would like to add that Beth lives at Lake Tahoe, California. I had no idea she was here. And these things keep happening more frequently and more frequently. And I think that is because when you move with the figure eight and the current of nature, you remove the blockages and you allow for the intervention of synchronicities to take place to bring you to the place where you're supposed to be.
It reminds me of Avatar. Did you see the movie Avatar?
Oh, of course, yes.
And the tree and how everybody is connected to the tree, and that when they're in community, when they need to heal somebody, they all move in synchronicity. That's exactly what it sounds like you're describing is people basically tapping into the vibration or the energy that's all around us anyway.
Yes.
It's really, really powerful. So this has been amazing and a ton of great information. Any final words or thoughts that you would like to leave our listeners?
Well, first, I would like to thank you for having me on. It's really important what you're doing and that you're having people on this platform to be able to discuss very important things that we don't hear much about in the mainstream. We all feel everybody needs this. We all need to come together in a time where people are being divided. And, I really feel a pull and a mission to let everybody know out there that it doesn't matter what your skin color is. It doesn't matter what your religion is. It doesn't matter what your sexuality is. I love you anyway. And all of you are welcome to come to my area here at Bogastow Meadow in Millis, Massachusetts at any time, or I could travel to you. I have no problem with that. And I would love to share this amazing system with you that has completely transformed my life. And it's the least I could do.
Well, that was beautiful, Brian. If someone wanted to work with you, how would they reach out to you?
So I think the best way right now is Instagram seems to be very positive for me, and Facebook, because I post on Instagram, but then it automatically posts on Facebook. All my information is on the link in the bio, if you know what that means. So you'll see Krabes Tai Chi Gung. My nickname is Krabes, Krabes. And my circleofchi.com website is on there. And my personal website is on there. And also I post every day a message, and I post times when I'll be teaching. So that's probably the best way to see where I will be and when.
Okay. And what is your personal website?
My personal website is, with my Boston accent, Bogastow, BOGASTOW -meadow -Tai -chi -gung.com.
I'm almost sorry I asked, Brian. I will have that link, though, in the bio for people to click on if they want. And also, if anybody wants to comment or wants Brian back to talk in more depth about the work that he does, please go to my website, purplelotus.health, send me a message, and we will get those messages to him and perhaps have him back on. Brian, thank you again so much for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate your energy, and I appreciate your time.
I appreciate you as well. Thank you for having me, Jill.
That's a wrap for this episode. Honor what landed, release what didn't, and we'll see you next time on The Healing Blueprint.